Happy Monday, guys. It's Miss Bland. I want to start off by saying I'm so sorry. I don't know why I didn't make this video earlier. I don't know. I just forgot. I'm so sorry, moms, dads, grandmas, memas, nanas, and all those good people that help with videos. I'm sorry. I don't know. It crossed my mind yesterday morning, which is usually when I do them. But we had some family stuff going on and it threw off my normal schedule. And I think that's what messed me up. And I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So we're gonna jump in. I know some of you have done the video, have done the work, and you're just looking for the video to do a little confirmation. So I'll go through it fairly quickly. Those that haven't done the work, hopefully if I go too fast, you'll just let me know that, hey, Miss Blaine, go back. Let me know that you needed something different and we'll work on a case-by-case basis. But I know a lot of you have already done it. So I am gonna go through kind of quick. And I promise that tomorrow's video will be on time. Again, my deepest apology. So let's get started. I'm so sorry. I can't believe I did that. That was really crazy. All right. Here we go. It's Monday, and you know Wednesday is St. Patrick's Day, so make sure you wear something green on Wednesday, or everybody in your house might pinch you. You never know. So let's start off with Letterland. This week you have 12 brand new words. They were on the cover of your packet, so I'm sure you've seen them. But our words this week are dealing with prefixes. So we have dis, pre, re, and un. Dislike, disappear, prepay, preschool, rewrite, refill, replace, untie, unwrap, unaware, unhelpful. It's a big one. Unafraid. So by Friday, you will be responsible for writing each of your words into our spelling test in the best spelling you can show me. So in Seesaw today, you are writing read, write, say. Make sure you practice them. Make sure you think about what we know about prefixes. We've done prefixes before. We've talked about what they mean. And so I'm really excited for them to be a part of our spelling for this week. So awesome. All right. For lesson 5 this week, for fluency, first we have our say it, our instant words. Those words that you're not sounding out, you are literally reading them to me on Friday. So you have such, here, went, need, home, because, why, men, land, us, turned, asked, read, different, move. And each of those words is a high frequency word. It's a word we see often. It's a word we see a lot. Then we have our phrases down at the bottom. Remember, phrases are not sentences. Don't try to make it a sentence when you read it in Seesaw. Read exactly what you see. If it's just 3 words, just 3 words. Don't insert little words, in the, don't put in something you don't see. Even when you're doing it on your Seesaw, use your finger if you need to touch the screen, but do not put words in. I'm marking it for exactly what it says and exactly what you read. And then of course, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we will meet our story, and you will only have half of the story in Seesaw on Friday, but I don't know what half yet. I haven't gotten that far. So you got to read the whole thing. I'd go ahead and start practicing my story just because it's always better to start practicing early. And then of course, on Friday, you'll do your 3 questions. I cut number 3 off. All right, let's start by looking at your ladder. I'm sure you have knocked out your ladder on this side, so I won't hold you for much of it. I'll give you a couple of freebies. Let's see. What about this one? I'll give 2 freebies. How about that? Then you should have already finished the rest. Let's do tad. I just want a tad. I just want a little bit. A tad bit is a little bit. You might not be old enough to know that one, so I will say that one. And tug. Not sure if you know what it means to tug on someone's arm, but it's to pull on it. So those are my 2 freebies. Be sure that you fill in each of the parts of the ladder using the clues that are given, and now using the 2 words in this plan. has supplied. For our vocabulary this week, we are dealing with noise levels. Oh my goodness. Sometimes we can go from being very, did you hear anything? It is, I was talking, but it was silent. And then talking calmly. Calmly means you can hear me, but it's usually just in a very calm way. But then I'm gonna get a little noisy. What? Yeah, that's the different levels of where we're going. Now roaring. This land can't do roaring. That's all. When we think of roaring, we think of a lion. We think of thunder. When we hear thunder off in the distance, it's deep and it sounds like it's rolling towards us. When we have those bad thunderstorms. So that's roaring. But usually for people, we stop at noisy. On your ladder, you are going to take the words that are given and it tells you to put them in order. Well, guess what? They're already in order. You just got to move them over. Then what Ms. Bland wants you to do is I want you to compare two words. And I'm going to give you the easiest comparison there is to make. Silent versus noisy. Tell me the difference between silent and noisy. Do your best. If you've already chosen two different words and your answer is sufficient, moms and dads, you're welcome to leave it. You do not have to change. All right, we are starting Unit 5 in Reading Wonders. So in your reading book, you need to be on Unit 5, Week 1. And we are talking about what do good citizens do. And it is a realistic fiction story with made up characters that could be real, but they're not. We could go and find two little boys that we're going to meet in our story, but they're not two real kids. Like right now, I can't call their phone. And they say, hey, Miss Glenn, what you doing? Let's go get some ice cream. If they're paying, I'm going. But that's not how this works. The real part tells us that it could really happen, realistic. And then fiction tells us, but it didn't, that it didn't happen, but it could. We're going to talk about summarizing this week, being able to retell. We call it retelling a lot. Summarizing is about the same thing. It means we're going to use our own words to tell what happened. And we want for our events to be in order. Sometimes with a retell, we can jump all over the place. But when we want it to be summarized, we really want it to be in the order that the stuff happened in the story. Point of view we'll hit on this week as well. Who's telling the story? Is there a narrator? Is it first person? Do they use certain words? And certain words tell us who is telling the story. And the theme, our story this week is going to teach us something. It's going to give a message. The author wrote this story, but he wanted us to get a message from it, something he wanted us all to learn. It's a central message, and we're going to talk about that as we read today. So your story is called A Difficult Decision. Meet me on the story. We're going to listen to it together. I want you to use your finger or the eraser on your pencil, and I want you to follow along. Remember, if you're using your eraser, don't drag it through the book and leave marks. Just use it to keep up with the pace of the words. Think about a boy who chooses to be a good citizen. My best friend Paul and I were excited to go to the park after school. The park had a new sport. The park department liked to choose what kind of equipment to go, and the sport got the most votes. After school, Mom and I met Paul and his dad at the park. Paul and I raced to the top of the tower. I win. I'm a champion, I shouted. This time, someone liked the newest green nesting here. Mine. Paul raised his eyebrows and looked thoughtful. Wyatt, you cannot keep that green here. You have a responsibility to return it. It is your duty. Haven't you ever heard the saying, "Find your keepers, leave your keepers"? I have right. I found it, so I was filming it. But it's not Wyatt, but you know it's wrong to keep it. Then he added, So we've met Paul and Wyatt. They're playing. They had a great day playing at the park. And they see the brand new Game Master. Now, we don't have Game Masters. We know this is a fictional story. So you could think of it as a Nintendo Switch along the same line. So now one of them says, finders, keepers, losers, weepers. You lost the game, my game now. And he says, how would you feel if they did that to you?
Whenever there are issues like this, you're the one who helps solve the problem. Now you aren't taking your own steps. Then call out it. I volunteered myself. You don't want to take the help I offered, there's nothing I can do. All was right. I couldn't keep the rules. It wasn't fun. The person who lost it would be upset. I cleared my throat and put my best foot forward. I determined that you're right. I'm delighted you decided to do that thing. We told my mother what happened. She walked around the park with us so we could try to find the owner of the cake. She saw boy and saw looking at something. He looked closer. First thing curious, and he asked him to do a mistake. Yes, he did. I lost my game after a little while. I should have been more careful. Afterwards, Mom and I walked home. I was glad I returned to go with the boy. So I made a promise to myself, always try to do the right thing. Now that is a vow I keep.
So he said, in the end, he learned that the right thing to do made him feel better. He was really glad he returned the toy to the boy because the boy was devastated. You know what I mean? He was devastated. He was so upset. Have you ever been crying so hard you couldn't stop? You tried to stop yourself, but you were literally crying so hard you couldn't stop. It's a bad feeling, but he was devastated. And the little boy admitted, I should have been more careful. It was his responsibility to keep up with his game, but good citizens returned it instead of just taking it home and saying that he's somewhere crying because he lost his game. Oh no, we shouldn't do that. So now you have a study guide, and I'm hoping that as you were going through, you used your study guide to answer your questions. A couple things I want you to make sure you've done on your study guide. First and foremost, I want what page your vocabulary word is on. We do this often. This is not brand new. Put what page your vocabulary word was on. Then it gives you some characteristics of realistic fiction. You don't have to do anything there. Just make sure you remember them. On page 334 and 335, they want to know, why did the Parks Department build a fort on the playground? Why did they choose the fort? It told you on 334. Check and see if you can remember. And who is telling the story? Do you know? Well, when we look at the story, it keeps using the word I. I. And from Ms. Bland's slides a few minutes ago, we talked about point of view. The words I, me, and am show that the character is telling the story from their point of view. So who is telling the story? One of the characters. How do we know? He's using the word I. Make sure you include that in your answer. Then you're going to look at 335. I hope you did your prediction before you read, but if not, then you can just choose what you would have done. What do you think will happen to the game master and why? Then on 336, how do you know the story is real? If you know this story, if realistic fiction is realistic fiction. Tell me how we know. Well, we know because Wyatt and Paul are not real. These are not photographs. Somebody drew them. It has a beginning, middle, and end. Those are things we know about our story. And then it says draw a picture of Wyatt below. So become the artiste that I know you are and draw me a picture of Wyatt. On the back side, we talk about the theme. What lesson did they want us to learn in the story? That it's always good to do the right thing. I hope you said right thing. It's always good to do the right thing. Any chance you get to do the right thing, you take it. You do the right thing no matter what other people around you do. Now, we're going to get a chance to use that summarize skill. Tell me what happened in order. It doesn't have to be the whole thing. I don't want to know every step they took and everything they touched at the park. But tell me about their arrival. Tell me about what they find. Tell me about what they do. and tell me about the end. That's 4 parts. So those 4 parts are a summary. You're going to summarize the story. Instead of it being all the pages in a book, you're going to give it to me in this one little box. That's a summary. Then we're talking a little bit this week about suffixes. Make sure you read and tell me what careful means and what hopeless means. You do not have to do the bottom, but I would like for you to tell me what hopeless means and what helpless means. Careful, careful. Pronouns. We're dealing with pronouns this week. Pronoun is a word that takes the place of a noun. So for instance, if I say, Jackie loves to eat ice cream. She eats her ice cream. I'm not going to keep saying Jackie. Jackie loves to eat ice cream. Jackie loves to eat pizza. Jackie loves to eat Skittles. Jackie loves to eat M&Ms. Jackie, 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 Jackie. Nobody wants to keep saying that. We start using she. It is a pronoun. It is a word that can replace a noun. We've got some very popular pronouns. They're nouns in disguise. They tell us that we know whether it's a boy or girl if there's more than one. If there's more than one, it'll say they or them. If it's just one, it might say him or her or she or he. If there's a lot of people, it might say us if you're including yourself. So these are pronouns. They're nouns in disguise. And we use these pronouns often to understand what we read when we don't want to use that noun again. We're also going to look at irregular plurals this week. We're going to talk about tooth and teeth, mice and mouse, men and man, woman and women. Those words that they do more than add an S when we see them. All right, for math this week, we are on lesson 28. Lesson 28, thank goodness, since Ms. Bland forgot to make your video this morning. Thank goodness is a great chance to put into action everything you know. So you're going to look at the directions, solve vertically, draw chips on the place value chart, unbundle when needed. That's all we're doing. You're going to turn it vertically, 109 minus 56. Turn it vertical, and then you're going to model it. And then you're going to do everything you need to do to subtract. 9 minus 6, oh, I can do that. So I'm going to take away 6. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, great. I go to the next one. 23. Then when I get there, I say, oh, I can't take away 5. I don't have any. Unbundle my 10. Unbundle my 10, take 5 of them away. That left me with 5. So I had to unbundle this and make this a 10. And 10 minus 5, of course, is 5. And I get 52. You're going to do the same for each of these, that 200 and 155. Be careful. You have each of your pages to practice. There's even some word problems thrown in to make sure you remember that math that looks like this and this are the same thing. So make sure you finish your math. For our person of the day, we have Miss Amelia Earhart. And Miss Earhart has some facts about her that are surrounding her on this lovely airplane setup. And she's in the middle with a nice cartoon drawing. And what you're going to do is you're going to read about Miss Earhart in each of these boxes. And you're going to use the information that you find to do your report page. And your report page is set up for you. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. You're going to give me 3 facts about her. Well, guess what? You had all these boxes. I'm pretty sure you can find 3 facts. Then you're going to explain why the world's a better place for her. What did she fight for? Why is she famous? Why is she famous? Why do we even know who she is? One thing you would ask her, if you could meet her today, what would you ask her? I know what I would ask her, but I don't want to tell you my question because then you'll write it down. So I have to hold on to it. Maybe tomorrow I'll tell you my question. And then what awards or honors did she get? What has she been awarded with? What honors has she had? What great things have happened to her? All because of what made her famous. I'll save the video for tomorrow. So you'll complete this page. That is the last page of your packet work for today. Office hours are from 2:45 to 3:45. But of course, if you need Miss Bland, you just shoot me a message. I don't think I even sleep anymore. So just send it on and I'll respond. So make sure you finish your packet pages for today. You have quite a bit of math to do, but if you do as well on it as Group B did today, I'll be tickled. You want to see me turn pink, don't you? So you got to make sure you do it. Then you have seesaw. You have spelling, irregular nouns, and irregular plural nouns, and pronouns. So you have 3 things to complete there. Remember to check Bailey specials today and do the assigned one for you. And of course, if you have free time, Epic is always open and always ready for you. I don't have anything for you in Bland Student Links, so there is no need to go there. What is in there for today belongs to track B. So you guys are good to go. I hope that you have an amazing afternoon, evening, night. I know it wasn't quite as warm and pretty as it was this weekend, but it's still nice. It's not raining yet. The rain is coming back, so we got to enjoy the sunshine while we have it. So finish up this work and go put that coat on and go get a little bit of sunshine. Miss Bland is again so sorry for not making your video. I apologize deeply, and I am so glad that you took time to watch it now. Have a great evening. Love you bunches. Stay safe and see you soon.